Hey everybody, I'm Anthony, and this is Buzzcast Episode 6. Today with me I have...
Zane,
Addison,
and Zeb.
Alright, now, for Buzzcast, we bring up 5 topics that came up during the week, and we give you our opinion on them. This week we're going to start with the Avengers Age of Ultron teaser. It came out a couple days ago. It was a short clip which showed us pretty much the Iron Man armor, and it faded in and out with black, and you got to hear different quotes from different Avengers, and then it ended with the helmet or the face of Ultron. And that's about it. No new footage. All you saw was this little campy. It didn't even look well done either. It was just there. I thought it was fake at first. But anyway, we'll get the opinions of the cast. Zane, yay or nay for the Avengers Age of Ultron teaser?
I'm gonna give it, as far as a teaser goes, a nay, because it's not really teasing much other than it's establishing that it's Ultron that's going to be our villain. But it does give us a little bit of information, so I'm kind of interested by that. It has the helmet of Iron Man being pounded into shape, into the Ultron form. So that sort of alludes to Avengers Disassembled when an Ultron virus took over the Iron Man suit when Tony had the Extremis Iron Man suit, and he became Ultron for a period of time. So since we don't have Ant-Man in this upcoming film, as they've already established, we might be seeing this variant of Ultron, which is based off of the computer taking over an Iron Man suit.
All right, Addison, yay or nay for this teaser? Gosh,
I give it a yay because it's straight to the point. It's very simple, and I did think it was fake at first because we were hearing all the old quotes, and you're just like, oh, this is just some fan-made stuff, and then you remember, oh, that's not coming out for another 2 years. I'm not gonna have any footage. They're not even done filming Phase 2 yet. So yeah, I give it a yay.
Zeb, yay or nay for the teaser?
I give it a yay. It's pretty much what I thought it would be. I had already kind of guessed that Ultron would be coming from Iron Man, or in some shape or form, as in like maybe Iron Man makes an actual Ultron that was supposed to be like a robot and then malfunctions or something. But I, at this point, because of the teaser, do believe that it's going to be an Iron Man outfit. Mm-hmm. My guess, though, is kind of far-fetched, is that it's going to take over Tony Stark himself. But that's something for another day.
All right. I'm going to give it a yay, but my prediction that what it's going to lead to, and as we've all established, that it's the Iron Man suit being formed into Ultron. I think that after he did this whole thing with Pepper at the end of Iron Man 3 where he said, I'm done, he might just made an AI or actually put Jarvis into the Iron Man suit and had him do the Avenger day-to-day that, instead of putting himself at risk, he would send an AI and he would just control it from a far-off zone, and then a virus infects and that's Ultron. Or we could even lead into saying, hey, he got the brainwaves from some other scientist or someone else, and they could hint that Hank Pym was a part of it without actually having to bring him in.
Some guy named Hank.
And so Ultron just suddenly has the urge to go and beat Pepper.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Oh, no.
She doesn't have her extremis anymore because she was stronger than Iron Man, so he got rid of it.
It's like, we gotta fix that.
All right, so our next topic will be Agent Carter. It came out with the Iron Man 3 DVD Blu-ray, and it was a Marvel one-shot that everyone's been talking about for quite a long time. Peggy Carter was the love interest of Captain America in the first Avenger movie. She was played by Haley Atwell, and yeah, I mean, I just go last. Zane, yay or nay for Agent Carter?
Yay! That flick was awesome. I loved it. I wanted it to go on for another hour and a half. Mm-hmm. It's exactly what I sort of wanted from an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. She just has a great presence. Haley Atwell does, and this is like this great sort of girl power shtick because it's in the 40s, so it's this sort of Mad Men-esque sort of deal. These really chauvinistic federal agents that she works with kind of sequester her to secretary work, and she really just shows them what's what. And she's like Addison was saying earlier, a secret agent Mary Poppins. She just shows up with her briefcase of magical wonder. This is my magical murder briefcase. Yeah, no, it was great. I loved it.
Addison, yay or nay for Agent Carter?
Yay. It was It was a good one shot, and I've enjoyed all the one shots. I think it was, it got straight to the point. It showed that she wasn't just oh, Captain America save me. It was, I can kick ass just as much as anyone else. And even though oh, I forgot. Never mind. Yay.
Yay. Zeb, yay or nay for Agent Carter?
I give it a big yay. I wish that it was an actual like series, even if it was just like a bunch of 10-minute pops. Like it was fantastic. That's like Zane said before, what I want more of with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Just like this kind of, let's do this ridiculous raid and then episode over. Good job, everybody. Let's go home. Yeah, so yay.
Yay. All right, I'm also going to give it a yay, but I would not say that it should be a series, because I think the reason it was good was because it was short. They didn't have to, build up other characters. They didn't have to give her a love interest. They didn't have to. They just gave us a really good, well-shown story. Like, there wasn't a big plot to it. She went into this warehouse, she got the package, and then she left. And she did a lot of really cool, kick-ass stuff in between. But no, so I'm going to give it a yay, but I don't think it would be a series. Because I also thought that, the stuff we saw with Agent Coulson, I was like, oh, that's cool. He should have his own series. And then they did, and they brought in a bunch of kids.
Like, what if this took place, like, what if the series took place 10 years later? So then she's, like, 10 years older.
Oh, no,
like
I have no problem. I have no problem
Yeah,
with her. Yeah,
I'm saying, like, what if they did that? What if
if she was, like, the supervisor?
But she was, like, the, Nick Fury from, like, the Steranko comics. So she was, like, the badass, cigar-chomping,
one eye.
helicarrier. Yeah, to give her one eye. Like, let her lose an eye somewhere along the line. And then make, like, Fury her son at some point with some, like, other black agent.
Nick Fury Jr.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But this kind of leads us into our third topic this week, and it was that Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. finally premiered. This has been the big golden finish line that we've been waiting for all summer. Has it been?
Yeah.
Not summer. Since the beginning of the year they announced it. Where hashtag Coulson lives, the big reveal since the Avengers movie ended.
Lives!
So Zane, yay or nay for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the pilot episode?
Nay. It was boring, really poorly written in both the dialogue, how characters use their powers. It requires viewers to have far too much knowledge about the entire Avengers movie properties. Like, it required you to watch Iron Man 3 to understand what was going on with Extremis. And I watched it with my father, who hadn't watched Iron Man 3 yet, and he had no idea what that was. He had no idea what they were talking about. He was somewhat lost. Coulson's dialogue is super hokey. I find a lot of the supporting characters far too young and unbelievable in what they do. There are no senior agents, even though this is supposed to be like a level 7 security force. There's a lot of just random arbitrary stuff. It doesn't have. I can't see any motivating force. There's no real antagonist built up in this series. And there's a lot of people online like, oh, it's the way Joss Whedon writes. He's always slow at first. Just, like, it's like the Buffy or Firefly. It's like, well, then stop doing that. Don't do that. We complain about it every time. Write the shit faster. Make it more fast-paced. Make it more interesting. Cut out all of these random supporting characters. I don't know who these people are. I have no reason to care about these people. We have so much source material with so many secondary characters. There's no reason to make someone else up. I don't know. It was a really the best thing about that show is seeing him drive a flying car. That was pretty cool. But I can watch, Iron Man, the first one, to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Addison,
yay or nay for the pilot episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I give it a yay. Most pilots are slow at first, no matter who the writer is. And if they had a talking dog, it'd just be Scooby and the gang, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Pretty much. They're solving.
I get it. Meddling kids.
Yeah,
that was funny.
They're solving mysteries while the Avengers are doing their stuff. I actually kind of want to see an Avengers 2 where they're fighting Ultron. You just see Coulson and all these kids like falling with the giant magnifying glass, just like in the background. Boom, 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 boom.
It's got to be done by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I give it a yay, but it's just something to keep us occupied until Phase 3 or Phase 2 completes after Thor and then whatever's next. So yeah.
Zeb, yay or nay for the first episode?
I give it an A. As a first episode, I've seen much better first episodes for a series. It didn't really strike me as anything I want to watch. I'm probably going to watch the second and third episodes just to get a better feel for it, to be like, is this something I really want to invest my time in? And maybe if the second and third episodes pique my interest again, then I'll watch it. I just, like Zane said, I didn't feel like there was a huge antagonist. There's this one woman that you meet in it that seems like she's going to be the big bad guy, but I don't see her as being very big or bad yet. So,
yeah. For me, I'm gonna give it a yay because I did enjoy it, and maybe it's just because I've seen everything that this Marvel Cinematic Universe has produced, so I got all the inside jokes, and I thought, okay, that was kind of cool. But I didn't like how, like you guys said, they brought in all these made up people. Like, I'm not saying that.
You just said made up people about a comic books TV show.
Less fictional. Anyway,
they're real to us. Come on,
people that don't actually exist in the Marvel universe. Yeah. I mean, I would have thought it'd been cool to have the Howling Commandos.
I wanted Dum Dum Dugan in the show.
Dugan and Robbie.
Apparently, he was supposed to have been in Agent Carter. They mentioned him in Agent Carter somewhere, but I felt like that. I thought that was where they were going to go with it, and I can say this because me and Zane are in our early 20s. You guys are in your early 20s too, but me and Zane are 22, which is kind of the age that they're basing a lot of these people off of. So I'm like they're the main character, the main Black Ops agent. Wade, not Wade. Is it Wade?
Walker?
I thought it was Wade.
Maybe.
Well, the younger guy who seemingly going to be the second in command for this special ops team that Coulson has. He has to be at least 25. Yet he's this already seasoned agent, and he's already at level 6, and it just kind of pisses me off. So Agent Coulson is level 6, and then he had to die, but he was already working and orchestrating the Avengers team. He was managing it, and then he just luckily got put to level 7, and then they bring in all these young kids, and even a girl who they were enemies with, or who was a threat to S.H.I.E.L.D. They brought her on. Hey, you want our big top secret? I guess they're gonna call her a consultant, but they're just bringing all these people. This was the highest level in S.H.I.E.L.D., a secret spy organization. I'm thinking of James Bond level people.
It was a little too feel goody,
Yeah, I know we're trying to draw in a younger audience, but let's be honest. Iron Man's no kid. Iron Man's not in his 20s. Robert Downey Jr. is a 40-year-old freaking man. He's had his midlife crisis twice.
Yeah. Would have involved a lot of heroin.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of bugs me when I see people our age as these I just graduated and I still don't have a job, yet you look like you're only a year older than me and you're a freaking secret agent at the top level.
Yeah, it doesn't make me really, have any empathy or sympathy for these characters. Instead, it just makes me hate them even more.
Yeah.
No, screw you, you've got a 401k. I'm 23 and I'm still eating ramen. No.
It's like watching rookie NBA players. They're all 18, 19-year-olds, and you're just like, what am I doing with my life? They're out there playing basketball and winning.
But anyway, he just, I don't know. All he did was brood, and that's just all the characters just seem to be what we saw on the first episode, what they're going to be for the next however long this show rolls on. Coulson I liked. I know he's had hokey comments, but
his dialogue was really bad.
It was bad, but that's the thing. Those are the things I would expect from him. I wanted him to be I don't know, just to say really goofy, stupid stuff. Just because it's him, I'm going to be okay with it. But I don't like how...
I feel like he's just not a very strong lead. He makes a very good supporting character because he has that sort of banter, and he has that times where he can be an emotional weight like he did in Avengers, and he can also be someone who just sort of pops up and has a witticism, but without someone to play off of, which he didn't really have because there was no other seasoned actor in that show. Kind of was rough for him. Mm-hmm. I think it was kind of rough for him.
Yeah, but I feel like he'll pull through, and just because I have faith in him. But it's the other kids, the main guy. All he's going to do is brood throughout the rest of the show.
Yeah.
The Asian woman is going to be the snobby, like, I'm really good at what I do, but I'm going to hide my abilities.
She's the damaged goods type.
Yeah.
She's the damaged goods character.
And then we have the two platonic geniuses who, are, like, perfect people.
They should have been kids. They should have been actual children. I really wish they'd been, like, 12 years old. That would have been so awesome.
Yeah. But, I don't know, they're going to be the same. And then this...
And that'd be very much more like what Marvel would do. Is if if they were, like, actual little kids that were just, like, snobby as frick, and they couldn't do anything to them. It's like they can't reprimand them because they're kids.
What if they were from the what's the Fantastic Four Academy or their school? It's the
it's FF. It's whatever. Future Foundation.
Future Foundation.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if it was like they're from the future.
So cool.
Then I would have been okay with kids.
And they could have done that because Future Foundation is not owned by Fox Studios.
Mm-mm.
So they could have done Future Foundation, and they could totally have had some kids there.
Yeah. But since we talked about Fox just now, that's going to lead us to our fourth topic, and this is a surprise, Gotham.
Yeah.
This is DC's response to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, Bruno Heller, the creator of the TV series The Mentalist, and he was the co-creator of Rome, has written and is going to produce a Gotham, which is going to be based around Commissioner Gordon. And
Lieutenant Gordon.
It's going to be about. It's going to be the year one.
Year one stuff.
Yeah, kind of stuff. But he said there will be absolutely no Batman, but you will see Batman villains. So, and it's not going to be like, not going to be like the Riddler, but you're going to see Edward Nygma, or you're going to see what's Penguin's real name? It's Oswald. Oswald Cobblepot. Thank you. So you're going to see people like that, and maybe Crane and maybe Harvey Dent. Anyway, Zane, yay or nay for the Gotham series, and it's going to be run on Fox. Fox is going to put their talents into something else.
Yeah. Tentative yay. I've seen what happens to a lot of TV shows that try to do the whole, like, we're going to take this character, but we're not going to use the reason that people are really actually interested in this property at all. It was called Birds of Prey. And they eventually caved, and they included Batman in a couple rando episodes. Like, there's no reason for them not to have Batman show up in these shows. I don't understand why they wouldn't have Batman show up in these shows. You can have these characters show up, but just do it from not having him be the central part, but he's still the largest influencing factor in this entire world. It's just not interesting to watch the waves that the whale makes in this case. Mm-hmm. And that's where I stand with that. You can do a lot with the interesting characters, because they had Gotham they had Gotham PD, which was a ongoing series for a while with like Montoya and stuff like that. But they let Batman show up in the book. He was a character that appeared.
It'd be like that episode of Batman the Animated Series, Point of View, where it was just an entire story that was from the point of view, of course, of the Gotham PD. And they go to do a thing and Batman shows up. Yeah, like, let the character show up. Let minor characters show up. Let them bleed through. They don't have to be, every episode showing up. But it's like the West Wing. They originally didn't want to have the president show up in the West Wing. But people wanted to see Martin Sheen be the president. And so he became, after like 2 seasons, they're like, oh, we really don't want to have this guy show up. Oh, come on. All right, because we have him for one episode. And then just the dam broke. And after season 2, he was the central character. Avoid that whole build-up. Let Batman show up in the show.
Addison, yay or nay for Gotham?
I'm going to give it a nay. I mean, even though I say I think it's going to be a nay, I want it to prove me wrong. But like Zane said, the fans are going to be like, we want to see something besides just Commissioner Gordon, because one of the things that's cool about Commissioner Gordon is seeing him interact with Batman. That's why he's such an interesting character, because, I'm all about the law, but I'm also working with this vigilante who most people don't like, but I know he's a good guy. And all I know is it's just going to be a lot of kind of corny, like, oh, my name is Edward Nygma. And he's going to say, something, a riddle or whatever, and it's going to be like, oh, I get it, I get that. And all I know is at some point in the season, he's going to be walking down the street, and this little boy is going to bump into him, and you're going to hear, Bruce, watch where you're going, and it's
No,
gonna
it's gonna be like Tim. Oh, and then he's gonna have like someone brings in a juvenile delinquent, and his name's Jason.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a lot of cheap kind of
A lot of cheap
hints that only the comic book readers will get. So yeah, you know what, Fox, prove me wrong.
Zeb, yay or nay for
Damn,
Gotham?
that was brutal.
I'll give it a yay because, from what I can remember, granted I was pretty young when I watched it. Birds of Prey, I actually liked it. I can't.
It was pretty fun.
I can't remember. I kind of want to watch it over again now, just to make sure that it is as good as I thought it was.
It holds up. I don't know what
but
you're talking about.
I watched it.
I mean, I just liked that they had Oracle in it, and it was like, oh, they actually are taking comic continuity into this. Like, Anyway, no, I would be excited for this. I want to see some trailers and stuff for it before I get too into it, but it sounds good to me. One thing I would love to see, if they do cave and go, all right, Batman will show up from time to time, would be Gordon gets tips in notes and stuff like that, and he puts it on his desk, turns back around, it's gone, and the window's open, and he goes, can't get a break, can I? Or something like that, like just random stuff where Batman just is taking information so that he can go do, like, bust people and then bring it back.
Batman's just sneaking around, and he's just, like, playing pranks on Gordon, basically, because Gordon's like, fuck, I can't do an investigation because my files are missing because a fucking lunatic in a bat suit is taking them out of the drawer.
I bet $20, and I'll give each of you $20, that at some point in the series before Batman's introduced, there's going to be a spotlight, and somehow it's either going to get like a smudge or a crack in it, and it's going to make like a really bad looking
We know
bat.
that for a fact it's going to happen.
Yeah, so...
Or he's just going to get random presents that just say, like, from bats.
Yeah.
Little hearts over the bat.
Another thing I'd like to see would be he actually
wish.
gets to talk to Batman, and they're on the roof, and then he does the thing where he turns around, turns back around, Batman's gone, and he goes, I can never. He always does that to me, and then just like sits there for a minute, just kind of like smoldering, and then he finally turns around and walks down, and the camera just follows Gordon as he goes down, because it never does in any of the shows or comics. It's always just Batman goes away, and Jim Gordon's just sitting there, just kind of like, great, what do I do now? And so he just sits there awkwardly, like, I'm on a roof alone in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
What am I doing with my life?
I'm going to give this a nay. And I'm doing this because I feel like this is going to end up being a Smallville kind of thing. Because in Smallville, it was set in an early stage. It was Superman's childhood, which would make sense. So at a point, he'd grow up. Well, Smallville stretched from him starting high school to him, well after college years. Like, him as an adult, and he still hadn't become Superman. They hid from saying Superman, and they hid from the cape in his cape in his actual uniform. They even put him in a black trench coat at one point with the Superman symbol on it. But
spray painted on.
But no, it just, and I feel like this will be, we know what's going to lead to, but they don't want it to get to that point. So they're going to stretch it. So it's going to be like, oh, this series, say it went on for five seasons, and you're just like, but Batman would have had to show up by now. Like, you're going to run out of material before you start bringing in all of Batman's villains, and then making it seem like, okay, so, but the key thing about Batman is he influenced his villains. Like, he inspired them to take that extra step in their madness.
Maybe something cool that they could do would be the first season doesn't have Batman, and because it's Jim's early years, and he's introduced to all of these villains that aren't quite the supervillains yet, but they're slowly becoming these supervillains as they're doing more crazy stuff.
That's what they're going to go for.
And then at the end of the season finale is like a two-parter where it's just like incidents of
things break down
of a Batman. Like Batman starts popping up, and people in newspapers are like, man in a bat outfit takes down this criminal, and like Gordon's like, who is this guy?
Yeah, that's what I
And
want.
then he finds him
but
at
you
the
know
season
what,
finale.
there's still going to be other things like League of Assassins. They exist. They're a thing that are completely separate from Batman. Like, those kind of folks could show up.
They could.
Black Mask would show up.
Black Mask would be an interesting one. Like,
Yeah.
that could be the main antagonist, is that, they're going to try to take down. But I don't see the League of Assassins being something that Gotham PD could handle.
Yeah, exactly. Think about it. If they have it so that it's one of these overarching, like, this is a several season long thing, like, the League is just doing stuff, and these are cases that the GCPD cannot solve. It's just so far out of their league that they couldn't even deal with it. And then that's where we start to see the escalation later on in the series. And we can start out this first season with them having these street-level thugs, them having these sort of crazies, but at a, Law and Order type level. And then, instead of like Law and Order, we're just like, oh, well, I guess we'll find another rapist this week. It's, well, we had a rapist last week. This guy's killing people and carving the number of kills onto his body. Okay, things are starting to get weird. Was that a penguin? All right.
Yeah. Laughing gas.
But I mean, I agree. That's what I think will or what I would make it cool. But I mean, no matter what, if the series would at least have it so that, like Zeb said, like at 1 minute Gordon will look at his table and look away, and there will be a follow. Like I want them to acknowledge the fact that Batman's there at some point, but we never see him. I know that would frustrate a lot of people, but I would even feel like in year one when he put the newspaper and there's like the image of of Batman jumping off a rooftop or like stuff like that where he's involved without making him the serious character. I know eventually then people will get annoyed because then you're like, well, I want to see the action part of the case, like
If people can watch Law and Order, I think that they can watch some Batman episodes.
What is it? Like
there's some Gordon episodes.
Like it has the Batman yeah. And it's like black and it says Crime Alley. But no. But yeah, so.
Oh, also, I mean, it is Brian Heller though, and Rome was really well researched and extremely well produced. Like that series is impeccable. So I feel like he's going to do a good job looking at his source material.
We just have to be careful because this is spawned off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like they're only doing this because
it's in response.
Yeah, and
so, but I mean,
I know, but I feel like that people get sloppy when they just try to keep up. Like if DC decide that they're going to do their own thing, like what they do with the idea of having a cinematic or a TV series, like they have a Flash and they're going to have Arrow. Why not put Fox or why not put this Gotham series on CW also, and then split up so that, like, say...
It may have just been optioned by Fox.
I know, but I just think it'd been interesting. So think about if we had... So how is TV split? It's split into fall and summer. Is there a winter block? Or...
most shows are really separate.
They have one in December and February, and then they have a summer block, and then they have a fall block.
Well, I think it'd be cool. So say one block is Arrow. Then as soon as Arrow season finale comes on, then we have the Flash season. So like, we're never without this universe.
Yeah,
we can see unfold, and sometimes they'll guest star. But I mean, why not keep Gotham there? And you can even tie in some of this stuff. Like I don't like the idea that Arrow would have come before Batman, but at least make it. Don't cut yourself off in this universe. Like you have the option. Don't do that to yourselves. And I mean, I don't know. That's just me. But anyway, we're going to move on to our final topic for this week, and that is the Arkham Origins PlayStation exclusive content. Now, they've announced that for the anyone who has a PlayStation 3 can get Arkham Origins, and they can download this content, which will include, I think, 3 extra levels, and it will include 2 skins. One skin will be the Adam West 1960s Batman, and the other one will be the Azrael Batsuit. So, Zane, yay or nay for... Let's just talk about the skins themselves instead of the extra content. So, yay or nay for the costumes, skins?
Yay. The Adam West one's brilliant. It's as if they put a bodybuilder into Adam West's Batman suit.
He's all grumpy looking.
He's super grouchy looking, and he's stacked like a brick house.
Let's go, chum.
Yeah, like, what the heck?
He looks almost like Sylvester Stallone in the Batman suit. I am the law.
I am vengeance.
I am
the night. I am... What am I? Oh, Batman!
Yeah, it looks great. It's kind of like someone like plunged him in there though, because he's really stretching it out. The Nightfall suit's also great. I love that series. I love the whole Nightfall arc. So I'm down with it. Yay!
Yay! Addison, yay or nay for the exclusive skins?
I gave it a yay on all the same reasons. Big Adam West, awesome looking Azrael Batman. I think it's going to be fun, especially when you get to run as Batman, as the Adam West. You get to see the running down the street kind of thing. Too bad you just have Robin like, I can't run anymore, Batman. No, come on, Robin, you got to keep going.
I loved how out of shape those two were when they were doing that show. I can't really run for more than a block, guys.
That movie was just.
And it was always in the daytime.
It's scary at night. That's when the serious villains come out.
Look, we don't want to get mugged. I've got my bat wallet on me.
Zeb, yay or nay for the exclusive content?
Yay! When I was little, Azrael Batman was probably my favorite, just because I thought he was so cool looking. And Adam West Batman's always going to hold a special place in my heart. So yes, I love it to death. So yeah, I'm a big yay on it. Like I almost would find my way to pre-order that if I didn't have like 3 other games that I wanted to get. And I would sport that Adam West outfit like nothing else.
Yeah. For me, I'm also going to give it a yay because, like everyone else has said already, it just looks cool. It's like we finally got an in-shape Adam West. And, I mean, like Zane said, he was out of shape. Both him and, is it Burt Ward? Burt Ward. Yeah. Like, they were both just not. But it was a different time. It was a different time. But, I mean, this Batman, I mean, he has the utility belt, and then, like, the game's, gadgets are all high-tech. So I want to see this Batman using, like, you know, a high powered.
I wonder if they skin out the tech too. So like it says on the side like bat like whatever like winch gun or something like that. Bat grappler gun, like
the bat hook.
I guess so. Bat hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't do that for. I mean, I don't know, but I don't think they did it for. Even in the Arkham City, they had Batman Beyond, and while he didn't have his cape, but he would throw his arms up and the wings would go up with him. But you'd still see his like. The grapple line.
Oh well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, what if
That's too bad.
Yeah, made the gadget.
If you went like your bat vision and turned red.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be that he doesn't. Adam West's suit doesn't have all the gadgets, so when he jumps off the thing and tries to glide, it's just.
Oh god!
That's one thing about the animated series I always watch now. Like the Batman that's in my mind now always will have the glide. That's the only thing I want to take from the Nolan universe. Is that his wings are gliders. So when he jumps, he glides down. So when I watch like the animated series, which I love, when Batman like. Jumps, he falls. There's no gliding or anything. And even when he throws he doesn't have a grapple gun. Well, he does, but like a lot of times it's like he's lassoing up and then swinging and then.
He doesn't usually lasso it. He usually has the grappling hook.
I know. Well, when he pulls up, there are a lot where he just is swinging over.
Yeah.
And remember, Batman falls with style. Doesn't just falls. He falls with style.
But I just don't have this scene where Batman jumps. It's like no. It can't be true. I could fly if I wanted to. Like a bird in the sky. I believe I can fly. And then there's just some cowboy going,
I can fly. I am vengeance.
But no. So that got, 4 yays. Now we're going to do the final villain month since villain month's finally over.
Thank you.
And our wallets can take a break. So Addison, take it away.
All right. As some of you may or may not know, DC has been promoting a lot of the villains in the DC universe by giving all the superhero titles. Pretty much, they're having the villains take over the titles. So you got Joker, Two-Face, etc., etc. So I've asked my fellow podcasters to say who one of their favorite villains, and now it is the last Sunday of the month, so everyone's going to say their last favorite villain. Zeb, your favorite villain for the week.
My villain of the week is Galactus, Eater of Worlds from the Marvel Universe. I like Galactus because he's a man with a single mission, and that mission is to get some food. He just wants to eat those planets, but those pesky Fantastic Four won't let him. And so he does his best to have his...
I wish you could tell us what he's going to say.
He sends his heralds to go soften up the planets. They're like his prep cooks, and they soften up the planets so it's nice and tender. And then he comes down and munches that sucker. Because you know what? He don't care about nothing else. Galactus just wants to eat. And Brother just wants some food.
I don't want to interrupt you, but have you seen? It's like there's an image, and it's like It's like a little kid, like it's like almost claymation, and there's a planet hanging by a string. And you see Galactus, and it's on like this little chair, and it's spinning. He's like a little baby going. And he sees the planet, he goes, "Wow!" And he just keeps spinning along.
Oh God! I've seen another picture that's like Galactus holding the Earth, and there's a bite out of it, and he's just like chomping it, and it says "nom."
Man, when I have a kid, I'm totally dressing him up as Galactus for Halloween. He's gonna be 3 years old. He's gonna have a big purple suit and spikes on his head.
And his stroller will be Galactus's huge saucer chair thing.
Yeah, dude. Then I'll
You
have like a little
the Silver Surfer. You have to be the Silver Surfer.
I might be Fire Lord or Terrax, and I'll put a little Silver Surfer at the action figure that just hangs off of it, just kind of wiggles, like a bubble toy.
Yeah, that's the only reason I want kids, right? Or I'd want a kid, is so that
So I can dress them up once a year.
Yeah, once a year. Cons.
Oh
Ladies
yeah.
love that.
Every time I think of Galactus eating, I think of Cookie Monster. So I just imagine like a puppet version of Galactus coming up like, planet.
She's like, oh, are those planets? It's like, what planet has the most moons? It's Saturn? The Saturn?
Jupiter.
It's like by Jupiter. There's like pieces of rock floating away from his face.
Oh, so tasty for Galactus. All right, Zane, who's the villain you chose for this month or this day?
Today, I'm gonna go with Loki. I've always sort of grown up with that character. I read back in the day. Bring Back the Bad Guys. It was this Marvel collection, and it had all of these great villains and their origin story and sort of a newer story of theirs. So like Doctor Doom, Vin Fang Foom, the Green Goblin, Loki. I think they had a thing for wearing green. I don't know, but I've always liked him, and the more I read about him, the more interesting he becomes because there is in the Marvel universe a theory about how the Asgardians are. They're these superpowered beings whose form is formed by our mythology because of a bard back in like the 1200s made them into the gods. He made them into the gods of his religion, and so he made Loki evil, even though this being was never really evil to begin with. He is compelled now to do bad things. And I think that's fascinating that you could have this character who only is motivated to do bad things, not for his own power or anything like that, but because he has no choice in the matter, no free will. His compulsion is just to be the bad guy that Thor gets to beat up at the end of the day.
It's kind of similar to that Zeus guy from the Batman series.
Maxi Zeus.
Yeah, Maxi Zeus, who's just, oh, I think I'm Zeus, so I have to act like Zeus. And that's not really how he acts. He's just like...
I just didn't take my pills today.
Yeah.
Space addict.
So I'm gonna go with Loki, and I think they did a great job with his interpretation this time around in the Avengers film, and I look forward to Thor: The Dark World.
Tom Hiddleston is just a charming man.
I mean, it's
yeah.
Anthony, who's the villain you chose on this day?
Well, this week I chose to do the ventriloquist. The ventriloquist, also known as Scarface, for those of you who watch the animated series and even The Batman. I think The Batman was my favorite incarnation of Scarface, and it was I forget what the actual ventriloquist's name is, but he's just a small. Sometimes he's overweight, and he's just a guy with these like glasses, like plain glasses, and sometimes he has his hair. He's like balding on top, and he always wears suspenders and this really just boring, dull dress, and he carries around this dummy, this mannequin of a mobster, which carries around a little gun, and then you a lot of times you come to think that the dummy is actually alive, that it's actually making these calls, but it's not. It's the ventriloquist who is just he's almost like Two-Face. He has a split personality, and he can only live out this other personality while holding a puppet with him. And I don't know. I like it. I'm sorry. So many thoughts are coming out. I like him just because he's crazy. Because there's one episode where Batman is chasing the puppet. Like, there was a point where Scarface, or the ventriloquist and Scarface are caught, but Scarface leaves a plan for his henchman to follow, that once he's split up from the ventriloquist goes through therapy and like rehab, and he's freed, that they're supposed to leave like hit the actual puppet stuff, or like little messages that they would leave to each other around, so that it would push him back into getting the ventriloquist or the Scarface dummy. Like, so he's clean, and so whenever Batman went to confront him, or anyone tried to confront him, they were like, "Oh, you're obviously telling the truth," but I don't know. There's just like
Scarface is still doing all these
Yeah,
plans that he had done months before.
yeah, like he's in his mind, like he's there, but he's only active when he's in Scarface mode. So like there's a point where the ventriloquist will be asleep and he's acting. I don't know. Maybe it's hard to explain, but it's a really interesting character. Like,
have you read Nightfall?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
They're in Nightfall, and he makes another personality, and it's Sacco.
What?
And it's he just gets a sock puppet, and it gets to the point where he's the Scarface and the sock puppet are arguing with each other because he didn't have Scarface, but he needed someone to be aggressive with.
Mhm.
So he puts on a sock, and then he goes and gets Scarface, and the two personalities don't get along, and so he ends up shooting his hands. Because the sock puppet's holding a gun and Scarface has his gun, and they just shoot each other, and then that's all that they do with the ventriloquist in
Right,
Nightfall.
it was so
He's
good.
just done. He's just like, no, well, he just shot himself. All right, on to the other things.
Well, what they try to explain in the Nightfall arc is that he creates a new personality based on what he's holding. It's not like the Scarface is there because it's a mobster, and so his mind creates a mobster thing. Because at one point he got a Irish cop mannequin,
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
that's
he
right.
he made a new mindset that was a new.
He just channels it. He's
Yeah.
like, he gives life to these things. And that makes you think, like, why does he keep going back to Scarface? Because that's the one he keeps going back to.
Right.
Like, he was compelled to do that, too, in the book. And in Nightfall, he just had to go and chase it down and get it out of this, like, storage locker.
but you also find out that there's a new ventriloquist. There's a woman now, and she
Oh.
has the Scarface puppet, which has the same personality. And from what I can tell, the memories. Like there's one where she's holding it and she says, "I guess we're together." And he says, "Shut up, you dumb broad." "Yes, sir." And so she's just in a dress and she carries around Scarface as is like his prize, his
Ugh.
trophy handler.
He's got a trophy wife now. He's like, you're much better than that old
But yeah,
man. Yeah.
But I like
Give me some
how
chicken tits.
the Scarface in the original like Bruce Timm series, you know, he looked like something out of a Looney Tunes cartoon. Like he
Yeah.
had the big hat and everything. Whereas the one from the Batman was Scarface. Like
Al Pacino.
yeah, he had this. I mean, obviously the scar, but he had the white suit with blue on. He had a ring and a chain. And,
He's like Tony Montana.
Yeah.
I'm Tony Montana, a political refugee from Cuba.
but no, so the ventriloquist is my pick.
Are they going to give it like the new ventriloquist? Are they going to give him and her like a Harley Quinn and Joker relationship?
No,
Like
not at all.
he's gonna be like verbally abusive and she's
No,
just
I haven't read it. I know she's now in the Batgirl title. I haven't-
He's already verbally abusive to the man ventriloquist.
Yeah.
Jeez.
but
Dummy.
pipe down, dummy.
Yep.
All right.
And I'm sorry, I got stuck on the whole.
Scarface.
He was with the sock puppet and how he was forceful with the sock puppet, and it's just like, yeah,
He's
we're
forceful
all
with
very
socks.
forceful with socks at one point.
Only the lonely ones. Your turn.
Uncalled for. For me, the villain I chose, my last villain, the god of villains, Chernabog from Fantasia. And if you know, it's the Knight on Bald Mountain with the giant demon who comes out with his arms crossed, just like, sup, and his wings. And he calls the souls of the dead, and they all dance in front of him, and he's just like, no, I don't like that. And he just crushes more and turns them into pigs and naked people.
Yeah, I like that.
Pigs and naked people. What more can you ask for in life?
Even though, like, I mean, the first time I watched, I was just like, oh, wow, this is terrifying. But then, after a time, I just like, it's not him, it's the music. The way the orchestra's going, it's just like, I get goosebumps every time I hear the music. But, yeah, Chernabog, god of evil. Pure evil.
All right. Well, that's it. That was the last villains select thingy that we're gonna do for a while
I'll try to come up with
until
I'll
the
try to
next
come up with
weird,
something.
awkward DC anniversary choice, and then we'll do
sales
something.
boost event. Yeah.
But yep, every Monday we're gonna post this online, and we record on Sunday night. So yeah, that's it. That's the final say for this week's episode. As always, I'm Anthony.
I'm Zane.
I'm Madison.
And I'm Zeb.
Why do you do everything that Zane does? Every time Zane makes a voice,
It
you
was
mimic
a
right after.
Okay, I was
Right
going
after.
for something else, but it just came out.
It was
like
in the
that.
moment, dude. Just
Yeah.
let it just go.
Anyway, all right. I'll see you guys next week. Nope, we'll see you guys on Tuesday with a new episode of the Dynamic Buzz, and Thursday for an episode of the Dynamic Review, and then we'll be back again with Buzzcast on Monday. Peace out. Visit us on our website at www.thedynamicbuzz.com. Also, like us on Facebook. We love getting comments from you guys, and follow us on Twitter. We, enjoy retweets. Also, while you're at it, subscribe to us on our YouTube channel and check out all our awesome videos and reviews.